press conference ahead of the fifth round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship at Mexico City ePrix. We've got Jerome D'Ambrosio on the right-hand side there for Dragon Racing. In the middle, Andrè Lotterer for Techeetah, and on the left, Tom Blomqvist for the Andretti team. And Tom, we'll start with you around there. Welcome to your first Formula E press conference. How have you enjoyed your time in Formula E so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously third round for me here in Mexico. But yeah, so far it's been, I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of had a lot of work to do to, come here. Not as prepared as I would have liked after missing, the first round. But I've tried to prepare as much as possible behind the scenes, as much as that I possibly can do. But no, it's been really enjoyable. A lot to get my head around. I mean, this format of racing, the style of racing, is completely different to what I've done in the past. So there's a lot of areas that it takes time to develop and get better at. But no, I'm happy with the performance so far. A few little mistakes here and there, but that's the way it goes. Try and find those limits early, and then yeah, we're looking forward to this weekend.
What have been the hardest things to get your head around?
Well, the car itself is, I would say, quite far from, let's say, something that I've driven before. It's quite a, let's say, heavy Formula car. The type of tyres we race on are very different, and even the power delivery from the electric motor is different. And then you've got the race side of things with the energy management, which is the biggest difference from, my whole life I've been used to going flat out from lap 1 to the finish of the race, not having to care too much about tyres, and especially not fuel. So here there's a few more things that you have to get on top of, but not only for me, but for the team and the engineers as well. And that's something that doesn't happen overnight. And the more you drive, the more race distances I get under my belt, the easier and the better it's going to be.
You outscored your teammate Antonio Costa in Marrakesh, narrowly missed out on points in Santiago. What are your sort of long-term aims for the season?
I mean, my aim is to try and actually get points at all the races. Realistically, we have to be realistic. We're not the quickest at the moment. But realistically, we can aim to be in the top 10. I think we've achieved that. Actually, one of the cars has achieved that in almost every race of the year. So that's the goal for us. We have to keep our feet on the ground and be realistic about what we want to achieve, and that's where we're at the moment. I mean, I got a bit lucky in Marrakesh, finished just outside in Santiago. Antonio was in the points there. So yeah, that's our goal, and that's what we need to try and achieve.
Best of luck. Jerome D'Ambrosio, turning to you. You do quite well here, a pole position here in the past, a win here in the past. Is there something specific about this track that you like?
No, I think I just definitely enjoy the place. I like the layout of the track. I think that suited us in the past for sure. Hopefully in the present as well. A bit like Punta. Punta was also a good one for us in season 2. But yeah, I think chicanes, change of directions and so on is something I also enjoy as a driver. And yeah, that worked for us pretty well in the past. Also last year was pretty close from doing a good result. In the end it didn't go all the way to the finish, but yeah, it's a place that I really enjoy racing in.
You scored your first points of the season in Santiago. Are you surprised by the change from Hong Kong? Because in Hong Kong the team looked to be really struggling.
I think, yeah, Hong Kong was for sure the most difficult one for us. On paper, it was also going to be the most difficult one. Then from Marrakesh onward, it was much better. And yes, I think we're building some good momentum now. Since Marrakesh, we've built a good momentum, and we're trying to keep that coming into this race and in the coming ones. And definitely, we need to be. The goal for the team is to be all the time with the points. Then we should be able to go and grab the top 5 very soon. So that's what we're going to aim for.
You've been with the Dragon team since the very first race in Beijing. You've had a sort of door of teammates coming through on the way. How does Jose Maria Lopez compare to some of your other teammates?
Well, I think I had always great teammates. I got on well with all of them. All of them were, I think, very fast. Jose is very fast as well, which I like. I think it's important. I want a teammate next to me that's going to challenged me and pushed me forward. And I definitely get that with Jose. Also, another thing that he has is experience from another Formula E team, so he's, has a different experience of Formula E outside of Dragon Racing, which is also something good to definitely that he brought in the team. It's good to have different perspective, and obviously I've been with the team for 4 years, and we've been with the team doing things in our own way, and he's seen Formula E from a different perspective. It doesn't mean better or worse, just different, and sometimes it's good to have to mix up the ideas and see how we can move forward. But definitely, Jose, I've known him since we were actually 2004 in Renault Junior drivers together, so I get on well with him. And as I say, he's an extremely fast driver, and that's what he wants as a teammate.
So what are your hopes for the weekend? Is a podium a little too far to think of?
Well, I'd like to work step by step. Of course, I want to win the race, and every driver here comes to the track to win the race, and nothing else in mind. But it's important to me, and that's how in the past we've always achieved the best results, is to build it step by step. We've got the first point last race, and I'd really like to get in the top 5 this weekend, and that's what we're going to try to do. If it's better, then that's great.
Best of luck. Andrè Lotterer, turning to you. The last few laps in Santiago were very exciting. You've probably been asked quite a lot about it over the course of the day, but here comes another one. What was going through your mind in those final laps when you were fighting with Jean-Eric?
Yeah, it was coming. Like, I wanted to make a move, but then Formula E is a bit a different game to overtake. So you kind of plan your move because you override your coasting, and then obviously there's a big difference in speed then, and he stayed inside, and I had nowhere else to go, and just tried to aim the car as straight as possible, and then we were both praying, I think, to make the corner, and then he released the brake exactly in the perfect time, and we made it. And then after that, we just kept the positions and drive home safe. And yeah, it was an exciting moment. Still, I need to learn a bit how to plan overtakes a bit better, and I think in Formula E you have to more surprise people than announce it, because otherwise people defend easily.
Were you relieved by the speed that you showed in Santiago after the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, it's always good to be at the top for any driver. Obviously, new in Formula E, and with very little testing, it took some time, and it's not a series where you can explore so much. So you really take it step by step. Otherwise, you end up in the wall easily if you brake a bit later. Or there's some areas where there's run-ups, but still you have to build up your confidence. And I gave myself time, and of course it didn't look great the first 2 races, and people are quickly wondering what's going on, but I just did my thing, and yeah, it worked. We were working really hard. I spent a lot of time in the sim and tried to understand everything, and it's how it goes. It goes step by step, and it's nice that it happened already in Santiago, but it's already history, so I have to do it again here.
Do you feel like here there's a little bit more space, it's a little bit of a wider circuit? Is that going to help you kind of find your feet with the car a little more?
It just makes it easier for everyone. The thing is, in Santiago was a new track for everyone, so here I'm a couple of steps behind into learning the track. There is space, but if you look at some apexes, they're super close to the walls, so it makes it very tricky too, like turn 1. It's not that funny, or it doesn't look funny. So let's see, go again step by step, learn the track, find my marks, and if only everything has to, work really well on that one day you have. If you start off the wrong foot, you easily